Well, there it is. I finally got my RV dish satellite set up. Let's go over all the parts. Now, if you watch my videos, you know I research things to death, and the first consideration was to go with Dish TV or Direct TV. And I decided on Dish because they had a great RVers program where you can pay by the month. So if you use it in July, you pay for July. If you don't want to use it in August, you don't pay in August. So it's a 30-day at a time payment schedule. You can stop it or start it anytime with no startup fees or cancellation fees. So that was the first consideration. Then who to use for a satellite antenna, and there's two big ones, King and Winegard, and I decided on the King, and I'll go over why. But let's first go over what I got. You saw I have the satellite antenna. We'll go into that more when I mount it on the roof. I got the Wally receiver. It's tiny box, so it's got to be even smaller when I open it up. This one has the 4.0 talk speaker remote, so you can actually talk to it and it'll change the channels and stuff like that, but you can get it without that remote. And one of the big reasons I like the King antenna is you can purchase a removable mount to mount on the roof. So I can mount this on the roof in this bracket, and when I want to, if I need to move it or I need to take it off the rig, it's a simple unlatch it and I can store it away. So that was one of the big bonuses for King. I didn't see that with any other manufacturers. So let's open everything up, see what it looks like, and start the install. So the first thing I'm going to open up is the Wally receiver. And this is Dish's newest receiver for RVs. They recommend the Wally. And let's see, it comes with a 110 power cord. Looks like an HDMI cable. And again, I got the 4.0 voice controlled remote, but this comes with the regular remote or the voice controlled, whatever you prefer. Some product information, we don't need that. And the receiver. And let's see if I can open this up. And yeah, it is tiny. You could fit this just about anywhere in your RV. This is pretty small, maybe 1.5 inches high. I'll get the right specs and put them in the description, but it looks maybe like 12 inches wide, if that. Okay, let's show you what else I got. Okay, the second part of the system I got is the quick release roof mount fixture, and this was a big selling point for me. This is a bracket that installs on the roof and allows you to install the satellite antenna to the roof, but you can take it off, put it on a picnic table, or move it to a different location if you're not getting reception, if you're under the trees, or if you just want to take it off and store it. And let's see what's in this box. Owner's manual, some other stuff, and looks like it needs to be put together, but it looks pretty simple. Front bracket, there's the rear bracket, and this looks like this is how you remove it. Pull a pin, oh, and that pops open. So we'll put all this together and we'll go find a place to mount it on the roof. And this is the most important part of my satellite system, the satellite antenna. Now, I researched this to death, and like I said, I've been happy with King products previously, especially the last one I did, the OmniGo antenna. It works fantastic. So I have high hopes for this. This is their latest satellite antenna for the Dish network. It's called the Tailgater Pro, and the Pro actually has a clear dome, and you can actually see the satellite antenna in there. I think the camera can capture it. It comes with 50 feet of coax and instructions. It's very light. It claims to be fully automatic, and you can actually run the Tailgater Pro. You can actually run 2 different Wally receivers at the same time. So you can watch one program in the front of the coach and a different program on the back of the coach if you have a separate Wally receiver. The first thing we'll do is we will put together the roof mount, and then we'll head up to the roof and start the install. This is the roof mount. It comes with 4 extending pieces, a front and a back. And the directions, so just snap these 2 pieces together, like so. And you make one long piece. They actually fit pretty good, nice and snug. Okay, and it comes with 4 stainless steel screws. We'll open them up. And let's do one side at a time. There's 3 holes. They match up. That slips in there. And then we'll put a stainless steel screw in. Okay, that's it, I guess. Pretty simple. Now this, through 5 screws in the front and 2 in the back, will attach to the roof. And the theory being, you flip this back, the antenna slides in, this holds the antenna down, and this is a safety pin so it doesn't come undone. Pretty simple. Alright, let's get up to the roof, put it on. Okay, I cleaned the area where I'm going to put the mount, and I've centered it from left to right so it's in the center of the rig, and I've put it at a distance with a lot of leeway from each obstruction. Basically the book says for each height of the obstruction I need to be 1 inch away with the antenna. So this is 12 inches, I'm a good 20 inches here, 20 inches back here, 20 inches here, and this is only a 4 inch obstruction to my left, and I'm a good 10 inches away. So I'm going to turn it over. Like I said, I've marked out some lines so I can keep it centered. We'll put some die core on there, and then we'll screw it in. And yes, die core is extremely messy. Okay, I have the die core on. I'm going to line this up to my lines. Right there. Die core is coming through the holes. That's what I want. So when the screw goes in, it seals. And it looks like it's right on them lines. Now, as far as fasteners, they do not come with the this does not come with the fasteners to attach to your roof. You're going to need to research what fastener will be best for your roof. Now, I have a fiberglass roof. Most RVs and trailers are the TPO rubber roofs. Again, you need to research what's going to be best. Now I'll just cover these screws with some die core. I am not going to put the antenna on right now. I'm going to let this self-level and harden a little bit so I don't get any glue on the antenna. It's down. I think I'm also going to put a piece of Eternabond right here just as a secondary precaution to hold it down. Okay, so it's the next day. I let the die core dry. This is nice and securely mounted to the roof per the directions. I have the satellite antenna and I have the coax cable. Now my rig has satellite prep, which means there's a termination point built into the factory on the roof. It happens to be right in front of the air conditioner shroud. If you do not have satellite prep on your rig, you'll have to run this coaxial into the rig to wherever you're putting the Wally. So this coaxial goes from the satellite antenna into your rig to the Wally. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take the antenna, put it in the mount, close the mount. Now it has a safety latch here. You can either put a lock here or the included safety pin. Just push it through, and if for any reason this ever comes undone, the safety pin will hold it in place. Now all I need to do is connect the coaxial to the antenna. Hand tighten only. All set up here. Now we'll go down. Okay, we're back in the rig and here's the Wally. Now I'm going to put mine. I have a separate AV cabinet that's all pre-wired to my television. But they're actually very specific in the order you make the connections. So the first thing they say is the HDMI out from the Wally. You want to connect the out to the TV. So an HDMI cable to the TV. If you don't have HDMI, they do supply 3 RCA jacks, audio right, left, and video you can use in lieu of HDMI. But so you're going to connect the Wally to the television set. The next thing they say to do is connect the antenna coaxial to the Wally receiver. So this is the coaxial cable, so from the satellite antenna in. Then you're going to connect the power cord to the Wally and plug it in. Once that's done, then you can turn the television on, and it says to follow the prompts. So I'm going to make these connections, we'll turn the television on, and we'll follow the prompts together. I've plugged it in. It took about 5 minutes, and then this screen comes up and it says pair your dish remote control. Press the satellite button to pair your remote control to your hopper or Wally. Your timers and other settings will automatically be restored. So I'm going to press the satellite button. It's beeped and it says text to speech. Now that you've paired your remote successfully, let us know whether you would like text to speech turned on. If so, select continue. I will select continue. Text to speech is activated. Okay, display is set to 480. Please keep to save this display setting or reverting to previous settings. Okay, now it comes to a testing installation. Please wait while the satellite signals are acquired and settings are restored. When complete, the system will proceed to the next step automatically. So it says switch installation being checked, 10 minutes remaining. The installation went down. It actually took longer than 10 minutes, but it comes to the next phase. It says mobile antenna setup. Please ensure your antenna is in place and stable. Clear view of the southern sky, and it asks you to select your state. So you select. I'll go down to New Jersey. Then it says select scan below to continue. I'll select scan. After I selected New Jersey, the box actually reset and went through the entire process again with all the screens I previously saw. But then when it was done, it actually went to a screen that said, please call Dish to activate. I called Dish to activate, and that literally took 5 or 6 minutes to set up my account, pick a programming package, and I was done. They activated the receiver, and within 5 minutes, I have television. I know that it was somewhat of a lengthy video, but I wanted to give a step-by-step direction for anybody interested in putting a satellite TV in their RV. I know a lot of people don't watch TV. Me, I really don't watch TV unless it's raining, and if you've ever been in an RV when it's raining, you know you need something to do. especially a small rig. I went with the dish service and the King products. That was the best after researching it for me, that fit in my budget and what I wanted out of the system. I've been very happy with King. I love this antenna. I love the mount that I was able to get for it. It doesn't require a second power adapter. Everything's done through one coax cable. The dish network, awesome. It literally took 5 minutes when I called them to set up my account. Now, there is a special number that you call for RV service. For Dish for My RV is the website, and they actually have a particular number that goes to their RV division. And the girl was fantastic. I gave her my name, my credit card number, and the receiver number, and I had service in 5 minutes. That was the end of it. I don't work for Dish. I don't work for King. There's simply my preferences after my research. I'm going to do a blog article that'll lay out everything I did here and give you all the phone numbers and websites where you can get more information. That'll be at RV Habit. I'll leave the link below. But as always, I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm at a loss for words. That's usually the case. There's a plane going over. I finally got it right, and there's a plane flying over. My neighbor has the nauseous dog. He just keeps barking. He'll stop barking and a plane will pass. I'm going to shut the door.